Well, hi, hello. Happy Tuesday. Well, I'm all dressed up, ready to go. We're going for our knit club lunch, stroke, tea, stroke, whatever. Anyway, we're going for a carvery. So I thought, well, while I'm waiting for my lift and while I'm all ready, I'll just do a quick video. I probably can't upload it until later, but, you know, that's by the by, yeah. So I'm wearing me frock. I was going to say me posh frock, but it's not really a posh frock. Let's see if I can show you. It's a long dress. Nice dress. And I'm wearing one of my nice cardies that I like. I've gone more into the fitted cardies lately. I've gone off the big baggy look, you know, because I don't think it does you any favours, you know. If you're big and baggy like I am, you know, wearing a big and baggy cardigan doesn't help, does it? Yeah. Anyway, I have finished off the little cardie. I still haven't blocked the others yet, but I finally put the buttons on. I couldn't find any pink buttons, so I've put those little, you know, the wooden ones that says handmade with love. I put those little wooden ones on. There is no pattern. It's one that I make up myself. It's just doing the shell pattern. One of these days I will show you how I do them and how I work them out, because I'm better without a pattern, to be quite truthful. What have I got? Well, in the post the other day I got this, which I didn't show you. It's pink, because I was a bit lacking in pink jewellery. Of all the jewellery I've got, but I was lacking in pink. I bought this one, got this one. Is that the right way round? I'm not sure. It's on a ribbon, anyway. But I did get tempted the other day. It's a lot more expensive than what I normally pay. But I thought, oh, it is so pretty. And it's by a lady called Imogen Sheeran. I don't think she's any relation to Ed Sheeran, but you know. Anyway, it's enamel. And it comes with earrings, which I don't know whether I'll wear the earrings, but they are pretty. I'm hoping I don't tip the earrings out, but if I do, you'll have to excuse me. They're like a leaf design. And isn't that pretty? It's enamel, and I just fell in love with it. So I paid much more over the odds than what I would normally pay for a piece of jewellery. But hey ho, it's Christmas, isn't it? So I'll have to decide what outfit goes with pink. What outfit in my wardrobe goes in with pink. I have been looking at several dresses on eBay. You know me, second-hand rows. There's no point in me looking in the charity shops around here, because there never is anything. Although maybe they might, drag out the colourful, glittery sort of stuff. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I am crocheting at the moment, but as usual, I am having difficulties. Oh, I don't know. I know that most American patterns are done in thicker yarn than what I'm used to, yeah. But this lady, she does admit that she crochets loose and that you may have trouble getting tension. She's quite right. You do get trouble getting tension. It's the Fairy Queen coat by Earth Tricks. And I'm making it for my daughter-in-law. She's not in at the minute, so I don't think she watches my videos, so we're all right. Anyway, she said the back panel, I'm not giving much away here, has so many chain on it. It wouldn't have fitted anybody that thin, yeah. Apparently it's done in, she says it's done in, oh gosh, let me see. She says she does have a very loose tension. She makes the stitches large and loose. You should do a test swatch to compare your gauge. Well, you know me and test swatches, I didn't do that, but I am using a slightly larger hook because, you know, 4.25 hook is not readily available in the UK. It tends to be 4 or 4.50, yeah. So I need to look to see whether I can get a 425 because it is missing out of my repertoire. Yeah. It says 5 skeins of Peyton's Beehive Baby Sport Weight yarn. So I don't know what sport weight yarn is, but I'm using UK double knitting. And I'm using this lovely Emperor Purple colour. But I've had to put 12 more stitches on, which is like 3 more patterns. Because it was only coming out that big. Which, no offence to my daughter-in-law, it would not fit her in the slightest, you know. She's not as big as I am, but she's not that tiny. So I added 3 more patterns on. Which is all very well, but when I come to do the bottom bit, which is the pineapples, I am going to have to work out how many more pineapples I've got to put in, aren't I? Because that's what I'm supposed to finish up with. This is like down to the armhole. So obviously it's telling me I need to do 12 rows to the armhole. No. 12 rows would strangle it with coming halfway down the armhole. So I don't know why I am so wrong with my tension. Maybe US wool is much thicker. Maybe she is a kind of much looser crocheter than I am, because she's saying the length of these first panels determines the width of your armhole. Well, it's showing a picture of her armhole. So I've sort of decided I'm going to need at least 8 inches, because that's the top of the neck down. So I'll have to work out. I'm using Stylecraft double knitting, by the way, which is lovely to work with. Stylecraft double knit is called Emperor Purple. Looks a bit royal blue, navy blue on here, but it's actually gorgeous Emperor Purple. So I'm going to have to work out the sizes of the fronts, which no problem at all working down the armhole, no problem working down to the waist. That's not going to be a problem. But the issue will be is how do I fit all the pineapples in? You know, I do make my life difficult, and then you wonder why I say I'm making my own. You know, every now and again, whenever I decide to use a commercial pattern, I always come unstuck for some reason or other. Either my tension is wrong, but I don't like things too loose and sloppy. I could have tried going up to a 5mm hook, but I don't like it, especially with a long coat, when you wear it or you wash it and it starts to descend, you know, go downwards in a downward direction. I prefer my crochet techniques to be a little bit firmer. I'm not a lover of the big open flowing things, unless of course it's a poncho or a shawl, and then it can be as open as you like. But for wearables, like a jacket or anything like that, then I do prefer a firmer tension. You know, like I know this cardigan, when it's washed, won't move. It won't go big and sloppy, and it won't go baggy. You know, the problem being with the other one I made in crochet, which was on a 5mm hook using the double knitting. This one, I know it will fit her when she's going to school. Because it will kind of grow with her. Yeah. Still haven't blocked it, by the way. That's on my list of things to do. But tomorrow I've got the desk arriving, and that should be great fun, because I haven't actually got the space cleared in my annexy room to put it yet. So my son's not going to be highly delighted when it gets to halfway. It's going to get into my bedroom, hopefully, and they'll deliver it into my bedroom. But it won't get into the other bit of the bedroom, because I need to move some stuff around. And also, my carpet is facing the wrong way around, I think I told you. My son's going, "Oh, you're being so fussy, does it matter?" And I went, yes, it does. Because when I sit in my recliner, looking at the gorgeous, hopefully, sunshine when it gets to be summer, I want to look at the birds. I don't want to look at the upside down birds, you know. And now is the time to speak, rather than wait while the desk is plonked on top of it, and then there's even more stuff to move before the carpet gets turned round. I'm going to be very busy tomorrow, aren't I, doing all these things, but you know, Anyway, we're going to a carvery today. Carvery, yeah. My appetite is not what it was. My diabetic nurse wants me to go and see somebody about my stomach issues, but you know, I'm a poor one for going anywhere, really poor. I wait until it's sort of too late or bothering me. As I got told off, you know, by the bloke that went to see about my hand, and he told me off. He said I should have come a long time ago before I'd lost, you know, using my fingers and my pad, which, you know, this is Janet. This is me. I don't like to mither anybody. I don't like to moan and groan and carry on. I always wait and wait and wait. And then when it really gets me down, then I go. So my hand at the moment is as numb as can be. It's freezing cold and I can't exactly wear my gloves while I'm eating my dinner, can I? But, hopefully it'll be nice and warm. It usually is inside the carvery. Usually nice and warm. I usually stand there with my hands, you know, where the warm, when you're waiting to be served with your meat, they cut and carve the meat and then you'd help yourself to the veggies. I usually stand with my hands, you know, on the hot bit. And it's like got a sign saying don't put your hands on there because it might be hot, and I'm like warming my hands through, you know, so I can actually use my utensils without dropping anything. You're getting to know a little bit about the story of my life, aren't you? The family, well, one's upstairs, one's gone to a funeral, sadly. I think it's a friend of hers daughter. Sad when your friend's daughter's. I don't know quite the ins and outs of what it is or why she is, yeah. One of my friends lost her dad, but you do expect that at our time of life, don't you, that you lose your parents. It's very sad, but very inevitable. You know, I miss my dad. I miss my mum, but I was a daddy's girl. And I do miss my dad, yeah. Every time something goes wrong or breaks in the house, I'm like, oh, my dad was a great fixer. It didn't always look pretty when he fixed it. He was a bit of a bodger, yeah, if you know what I mean with a bodger. But it would work when he'd finished it, but it may not look as pretty as it once did, yeah. I can remember being about 17 or 18, my mum bought me one of those hair dryers that you sit underneath, you know, like they have in the hairdressers, you know, the big dome things. You know, you see them in these old-fashioned movies, you know, like the one, you know, Steel Magnolias, where they have the beauty shop and they all sit under these hair dryers, and they have them on like Murder, She Wrote. She sits under them, yeah. I knocked mine over. And it was all plastic and shattered. It was like a jigsaw. My dad very, very patiently stuck it all back together again. It worked, but the helmet was like crazy paving, you know. It's like, oh my goodness. But back in the day, we used to use the very strong, I've always had thin hair. So we used to use the very strong setting lotion, you know, the concrete setting lotion you've seen now. You spray it on and you roll it like, and then you sit under this dryer with all your rollers in, and then you're going, trying to comb it through. And my hair used to look fantastic for about 5 minutes. And then, of course, it would either be damp or raining or something or other. And even though I had gallons of lacquer, you know, you were while you were spraying this lacquer. So I wonder we didn't all come out with some deadly disease, the amount of lacquer, because it wasn't in the spray bottles like it is now. It was in little squeezy bottles, and you had to squeeze it, and you got like a jet, or you got a lump, you know that. So your hair wouldn't move in a tornado, you know, because it was really like concrete. Yeah. Oh, those were the days, yeah. But you always took it with you in your handbag, and it was always sticky and stuck up, and your hanky would be stuck to it or something. But you always had to, in case, you know, in case you needed to when you got to the dance, yeah. They used to have, where I used to go to a place called Billington's in Oldham, and it had a huge, huge mirror. The size of a wall, it had a huge mirror. because it was a dance studio, so I presume people used to do their bar work and stuff in front of this mirror. I used to pity the cleaner because it would be glued up with this hair lacquer. Sometimes it was like looking through a mist because girls would be with this hair lacquer and it'd be all over the mirror. And I used to think, I bet that cleaner when she comes in on a Monday or whenever she comes in curses us because she'd be there trying to get this sticky stuff off the mirror. Oh dear. I can remember we had the mirror over the top, over the fire. Stupid place to put a mirror, but everybody did back in the day. Put the mirror over the top of the fireplace. And my dad used to say, you're going to set the house on fire. You're going to go and it's going to ignite like fumes. And thankfully, it never did. Today is cold and it's wet and it's raining. So I've dug out my coat with the hood, with the fur around it. Trying to be posh rather than wearing my old anorak, you know. Trying to be a little more ladylike as you go out places. So I'm waiting for my lift, which should be coming in about the next 20-25 minutes. So I just thought, well, I'll take the opportunity to do a little video in between. We haven't got enough daylight. I've actually got the light on here, the lamp, because it's very depressing, isn't it, when it's dark at 4 o'clock, you know. So anyway, I'm hoping I can eat, because my appetite is a bit rubbish really. So I'm hoping that I can actually eat something, because it's a shame, isn't it, when you pay for this beautiful meal and you're picking away like a little bird, you know. Why I don't lose weight, I do not know. I have lost some weight, but it's very slowly, very slow weight. In the right direction, but of course it's coming to be Christmas, yeah. We were going to go to Affinity, or as the locals still call it, Freeport. That is the only place in Fleetwood where you can get any decent shops. It's like an outlet. And we were going to go there and have some lunch on Thursday, but my friend, somebody walking past with a dog. But my friend, her boiler's broken down yet again. This is about the 5th time this week. I think she's going to have to invest in a new boiler. This is the only problem, you know, when you move into a house with existing central heating. You never quite know what you're buying, do you? You don't go around when you're buying it inspecting everything. You ask, is it gas central heating? They say yes and all that. Well, when we moved in here, I mean, I wish I could show you the picture. I will find it and show you the picture of the boiler. The houses were built in the 1970s. But the plumber had fits of laughter when he saw this boiler and said, when was this house built? 1920. I have never seen a boiler like it. Not in a domestic. But the bloke who had this house before us was a bit like my dad. He was a bit of a budget, you know. We got the electrician in because we were having everything, we wanted new plugs. There were no plugs in the house. They must have never had any electrical appliances because there was hardly any plugs. Sockets, you know, plug sockets. So we got the electrician in and he was like, oh my goodness, there's a wonder you've not set on fire. Because he bell wired into sockets that should have had an earth wire, you know. And he'd done all sorts of things. So we finished up having a complete, utter rewire. And then of course there was the problem with the central heating. It was either on or it was off. And it took us forever to actually get it to come on. No thermostat. I mean, who has a house without a thermostat? We did. No thermostat. So you were either, when you got it finally going, you were either roasting or you were freezing because it stopped working. Yeah. So the first week we were here, I said, I can't cope with this, can't cope with it. So we got the lad across the road who's a heating engineer. We got him to come. And we were very, very fortunate because it was a week before Christmas. And nobody else wanted to know. So anyway, we got the heating done. And then the next thing was the windows, because the windows were metal. Metal by the seaside, metal, you know. So there was huge gaps everywhere and he was sat there shivering. I think I spent the first 2 or 3 weeks in tears here, bundled up in blankets, coats, everything, saying, I am so cold. Because the gas fire was so temperamental, I think it should have been condemned. So that came out and we had the log fire burner put in. So I think overall, I think we've spent as much on this house as we paid for it in the first place. And my friend now is going through the same issues, you know. This boiler is up in her, she doesn't have a dormer like we do. She's just got a straight bungalow. So the boiler is up in the loft space and it keeps going off. So she's had like this plumber out about 4 times I think already. So I do think she's going to have to say enough's enough and put a new boiler in. But, you know, it's depressing, isn't it, when you pay so much for a house and then everything starts going wrong. Oh, and a conservatory's leaking as well. You know, I mean, people know when they're selling you things, don't they? They know that things are not quite right, you know. But hey-ho. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I've finished having a whinge and a whine, haven't I? Waving me cold hands at you, trying to get some circulation back into them, you know. My favourite trick of the day, that, you know, waving my hands about like some... Got the makeup on, had a shower, done the hair, got my posh frock on. Well, not really a posh frock. I'm looking for a posh frock because we're going to the Christmas do next week. But I doubt if I'm going to get a posh frock before then. I'll have to improvise. I'm sure I've got something in the wardrobe that I can jazz. I think I've got a black jacket with a few sequins on it, you know. We shall see. I've got a brooch actually because the neck on this is a bit low, so I put my brooch on. A bit low on my hold, you know. You know, a bit like your puddings are boiling over, if you know that expression. That's a northern expression when you're showing your boobies off, yeah. Your puddings are boiling over, yeah. So, we shall see, what we shall see. Anyway, I'm going to go now, so thank you for watching. Yes. I've been watching another lady. What's she called? Crafting in a Cuppa or something. She's my kind of crocheter. She's got all these jazzy blinking... If you ask me, I'll give you a link. She's got all these jazzy things. She's got a beautiful hat that's like a baker boy cap. Oh, I'm going to have to make one of those. It's done all in different colours of Aran. And I've got quite a few oddments of Aran from when I made the, you know, the Frida Kahlo style jackets. So I've got a few part balls of Aran in the shed. My crafting shed. It's not the, you know, the old shed out. It's my crafting shed. From which I am going to be bringing in my sewing machine. Not that I'm going to go into the realms of dressmaking. But it's handy, isn't it, for sewing repairs and things up, yeah. And I'm also going to bring my doll's house in so I can get it painted up. But all that will be in the future because I'll need my son's help. I can't carry the sewing machine across, you know, bad back, etc., bad neck, whingy, bad arm, bad shoulder, decrepit old boots, yeah, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to have to get my son's assistance to carry the doll's house in, which he doesn't know I'm going to bring it in the house yet. But it's in my bit of the house, not in his bit. And the sewing machine, which he does know about, yeah. And then that will leave me free in the shed to clean up the knitting machine, which that I'm going to wait until the weather improves and it's not so cold in my crafting shed. I know I've got a little heater, but by the time I switch it on, by the time it warms up, it's time to come out again. And I always forget to go and switch it on a good half hour like before I want to go out there. And you can't exactly clean a knitting machine wearing your mittens and your coat and your hat, can you know? Anyway, I shall fill you in about my meal and I maybe take a little photograph that I put on Instagram and Facebook. Everybody else puts photographs of their dinner, don't they? So maybe if I remember, before I start, you know, diving in it, I might put a little photo. Anyway, I am now going to go, and I will probably upload this later when I come back in because it's 2:45 now, and she's coming for me around about 3 o'clock, so I won't have time to upload it. Because I turn the computer and everything off when I leave the house, you know, saving electric. You have to do these frugal things, don't you? Anyway, I shall say goodbye for now, and I will see you all soon. Happy Tuesday!